A wise person once said that you should dress for the job that you want. Working from home solved 50% of that problem. Let's change it to something more casual. That's much better. So today, I'm going to show you 9 high-paying work from home careers. In fact, all the careers I will be mentioning in this video are legitimate work from home careers. There are plenty of people who have been doing this for years, even pre-corona time. What's up guys? My name is Nam, so here we talk all things personal finance. If you're new here, welcome. Make sure you click that subscribe button so you don't miss out on any future videos. The careers I will be sharing with you guys in this video, they can earn anywhere from $30,000 to $180,000 per year. The way I structured this video is going to go through 3 different levels. The first level of careers requires no formal experience, and probably the only education that you will need is just a high school diploma. The second level careers will require some technical experience all the way up to a 4-year degree. And lastly, the third level of careers is for individuals who have years of experience or have graduate level degrees. So where you are in life currently, whether you're a student in college or a person who's just tired of their current job and trying to switch careers, this video has a little bit of something for everyone. So now let's jump into level 1 careers. The first job on the list is going to be working at a call center. I mentioned this before in my previous videos for work at home jobs, but I feel like it's worth mentioning again just due to the fact that this can be a full-time career. The average pay for this job is roughly around $30,000 per year, depending on where you live and if you have any prior experience. But the great thing about call center work is that it's fairly easy to get into, and the majority of positions, they don't require any experience. There are plenty of companies out there that will provide you with a laptop and all the necessary things to get you started. But the majority of the time, you will have to supply your own equipment. Now let's talk on more exactly what you'll be doing on a day-to-day basis. There could be a variety of things that you could be doing. You could be managing incoming and outgoing calls, record and document customer interactions, and possibly sell services or products. Like if you have ever called to a credit card company, the customer service rep on the other side, they might be possibly working from home. Depending on the company that you work for, your hours can vary as well. You can work a normal 9 to 5, Monday to Friday, or you can work the night shift on different types of days, including the weekends. Now let's move on to career number 2. Data entry. The average pay for this type of career ranges around $30,000 a year. Even though this is an entry-level job, you're gonna need to have some typing skills ranging between 50 to 60 words per minute. So if you are a person with fairly decent typing skills, this could be a good entry job for you. But if you're someone who's not so good at typing, there are plenty of free apps and Chrome extensions that you can download that will teach you how to type faster. So now let's talk about the job description and what you're gonna be doing on a daily basis. You will be responsible for collecting data for companies, employees, and customers. You would then submit this data into the system in the correct manner. So with this type of role, you would have to have a high attention to detail. So your workday would revolve around software such as Microsoft Office, like PowerPoint, Word, and Excel. Based off my research, the majority of jobs for data entry clerk usually revolves around working hours, especially around Monday to Friday, and anywhere between 7 to 5 p.m. I really didn't see that many data entry jobs that work during the nighttime or on the weekends. So now let's keep it moving with job number 3. Becoming a sales agent. This is a very generalized term for this type of occupation and career, because this could mean selling mortgages, insurance, or pretty much any type of product really. The thing about this type of career is that the majority of positions that are available are based off commissions. If you want more of a secure payment schedule, there are a handful of jobs out there that do pay you a base salary and also commission. But definitely this is one of the higher paying entry level positions because you can get paid over $100,000 a year depending on how well you do as a salesperson. So since your pay heavily depends on how well you can sell, the average pay you can expect on this position could range anywhere between $50,000 to $120,000 per year. So this is definitely one of the higher paying entry level jobs that don't require any experience. But just keep in mind that depending on the brokerage and the company that you do decide to work for, they may require certain licenses. I have found some that are willing to train and sponsor you so you can take the test and get the licenses that you need to work in your state. So let's move on to what your day-to-day is going to be like. Well, this is going to vary from industry to industry because what you're going to be doing as a mortgage agent compared to someone who's selling life insurance can be totally different. But here are some generalizations. You're going to be on the phone majority of the time. This can either be from cold calling to generate leads, or you just be following up. Also, your company can provide you with a list of numbers where you basically would just go down the list and just give these people a ring. You would also set up appointments, collect information, and provide products and services based on the needs of the customer. This is one of the few jobs on the list where it is possible to not get any benefits because sometimes you will be labeled as an independent contractor. Benefits such as retirement, health insurance, and paid time off will not be included. So now let's move on to level 2 careers. These type of careers require a little bit more technical experience and maybe up to a 4-year degree. With these type of jobs, the career ladder can be very high. So you can start off making a fairly decent wage, then you could advance to one of the more senior roles. So moving on to the next job on the list, this one is going to be a telehealth registered nurse. So first things first, you gotta be a registered nurse. A little fun fact about myself, a registered nurse is my day job. So to become a registered nurse, you would have to get at least an associate's or a bachelor's degree in nursing. But it is becoming more and more common for employers to hire nurses with 4-year degrees instead of 2. So this just really depends on the company and where you are located in the US. Places where they're more competitive, they may only hire nurses with bachelor's and above. But there are plenty of hospitals and employers that only require an associate's degree. To become a telehealth nurse, you would have to have some sort of experience in patient care. This can either be working at an acute care hospital or a skilled nursing facility. But what is really important is your assessment skills, because you are going to be talking to individuals on the phone, and your patients are just going to be giving you symptoms and complaints, and then you would have to relay this information to the physician for the correct course of action. So based on my research, the median salary for a telehealth nurse is roughly around $65,000 a year. Also, your salary would depend on how much experience you have with nursing and if you have any experience with telehealth. A day as a telehealth nurse is going to be very similar as a nurse in a clinic. Patients will talk to a nurse for minor problems, and these nurses can help determine whether or not they need to seek emergency care or just go to urgent care. So now let's keep it moving with job number 5, becoming a software developer. As a software developer, you help create applications or systems that run on computers or other devices such as your phone. To become a software developer, you usually gotta have at least a bachelor's in computer science and have strong computer programming skills. While having higher education may not be necessary, but many do require some form of education. Software developers can be totally hired based off technical knowledge, especially if you know an in-demand programming language. The median pay for a software developer is roughly around $107,000 a year. So depending on the position you get accepted for, software developers can hold a bunch of different hats. But on your typical day-to-day basis, you will analyze tests and help develop software that meets the user's needs. You also ensure programs function properly and fix bugs if there are any. So the type of role software developers may do as well is programming work. You may be coding in Python, Java, Swift, or any other language that the software is based off of. Normally with this position, you would work full-time and work normal hours. But it is not uncommon to see developers work on the weekends and extended hours into the night. But now let's keep it moving with our next job, becoming a project manager. What a project manager does is someone who is responsible for managing a piece of work from the concept to the delivery. The salary for a project manager will vary amongst industries and companies, but the average of what I've seen ranges between $60,000 to about $120,000 per year. To become a project manager, there are typically 2 types of routes. The traditional route is that you set out to become a project manager, and then you get the qualifications, and then you take on a role as a project manager. On the flip side, you could gain project manager experience by working your way up the project manager career ladder without a degree, certification, or any other typical project manager education. Some people become project managers without ever even expecting this career path. But on a daily basis, this is what you're going to be doing. You would meet with leadership to decide the scope of the upcoming project, pitch to financial teams to increase budgets, and create risk assessment reports. So now let's go on to our level 3 high-paying jobs that you can do from home. So the next one on the list is actually becoming a physician. This is probably one of the strangest careers to get into, just due to the fact that you got to invest a lot of time, schooling, and plus a lot of money to become a medical doctor. Typically, you have to get an undergraduate degree, go to med school, plus you got to do internships and residency depending on your specialty. So if you were going to be this route to become a doctor working from home, you should be looking towards anywhere between 10 to 12 years of education. There are plenty of physician career paths that doesn't require you to deal with patients or work inside of a hospital or an office. Just look at Dr. Mike. I'm just kidding, I love that guy. You can either work for insurance companies, telehealth, or advising. So based off my research, remote positions can make anywhere between $200,000 to $280,000 a year. Of course, this is a very high salary just due to the fact that doctors, they do spend years and years of education and training. Many doctors who get into remote work, they didn't start out this way. Most likely they started inside of a hospital or inside of a facility, then they probably got burnt out and decided to do remote work. So now let's talk more about your day-to-day. Since there are various roles, I'll just cover some. If you're a telehealth physician, then you would just provide remote patient care virtually. Imagine seeing a doctor inside of their office. This is basically the same concept, but you're doing this over video chat. If you were to work for an insurance company, then you would just become a utilization review physician. You would take a look at outpatient visits and hospitalizations to see whether or not they would receive authorization or payment by an insurance company. If you were going to go the advisor route, you would typically be employed by a hospital or a hospital system. You would help the organization come up with better practice patterns, documentation practice, and level of care progression. Alright, so let's keep it moving with job number 8. Becoming a pharmacist. The time it takes to become a pharmacist is a lengthy one as well. You would first have to get your undergraduate degree and then a pharmacy degree, then you would have to get an internship before you can start working on your own. The salary for a remote pharmacist can range anywhere between $80,000 to about $130,000 a year. There are part-time and full-time roles, so this can be a great alternative for pharmacists trying to get into remote work. So this is what you're going to be doing on your day-to-day basis. You will provide outreach to patients to optimize medication use, promote improved health outcomes, medication reviews, and other quality improvement interventions. You may also communicate with patients, providers, and health plans regarding medication therapies. But before you get into a remote role, you'll need to have some sort of experience in clinical or managed care experience. So now let's switch things up with job number 9, becoming a certified public accountant. Another name for this occupation is a CPA, which is a financial advisor who helps individuals and businesses plan and reach their financial goals. This can either be from saving money, doing taxes to get the greatest returns, or planning company mergers. So to become a CPA, you would typically need to get a bachelor's in finance or accounting. You would then have to get some experience in an accounting firm, or you would have to get a master's degree before you can take the CPA exam. But once you become a CPA, there are plenty of options for remote work, just due to the fact that you're going to be working mainly with numbers, tax returns, and financial documents. So now let's talk more about your day-to-day. You're going to be prepping either individual or business tax returns, prepare financial statements, and financial invoicing. You may help clients minimize their tax liabilities and assist clients during audits and other related inquiries. The career ladder is pretty high for this type of role. You can potentially become a CFO of companies and businesses. Now, I want to turn it over to you. Which job from today's video are you going to try first? Are you going to try becoming a sales agent or a project manager? Let me know by leaving a comment below right now. I'll see you guys in my next videos.